For Josh Mims and Dustin King, their thoughts on the latest episode of Survivor don't end when the credits roll. They're just beginning. These two former co-workers brought together by the show are now co-hosts.
What's going on? Welcome to the Survivor Analyst Podcast.
Every Sunday, the duo sit down in Dustin's Baxley home and break down the latest episode of the long-running reality TV competition. Last week, the show debuted for its 41st season, returning for the first time since the COVID pandemic. For these two, it was a welcome sight, not just because it provides material for their latest episode, but because they're fans of the show.
If Josh is the super fan, I'm more the casual.
There's no if about it. Josh Mims is a super fan. He started watching the first season of the show when he was 11 years old. Now, 40 seasons later, he's watched every single one of them.
I would be talking about Survivor if we had 0 listeners, if nobody was listening. I'm just a fan of Survivor.
His co-host may consider himself a casual fan, but his love of the show has grown since diving into it more with Josh. For the past 2 years, Josh and Dustin have been publishing their thoughts on the CBS Legacy program, even covering college Survivor programs during the show's COVID absence. Both the return of the show this season, the Survivor analysts are back talking about the show currently.
Just like straight out the gate, you got some kind of connection.
Search through any podcast platform and you'll find plenty of shows dedicated to Survivor. These two know they aren't the only voices filling the digital airwaves with thoughts on the game show, so why add another perspective?
Sure, you could maybe argue that we're just 2 more voices that's kind of talking into the ether, but we're also 2 unique people that have different life experiences that kind of shape the way in which we think.
I think we're adding a little something to the Survivor. We're adding a different point of view to it, and I feel like, especially for Survivor fans, they're always eager to gather up more and more content, and so if we can add that to it, I feel like it's just a good thing for us to do.
For Josh, it's his own way of maybe helping bolster the love of the show in other fans. He says discovering other Survivor podcasts years ago made him feel even more a part of the show's community of fans.
It was the first time I realized, like, hey, there are people out there who love Survivor just as much as I do, who love to talk about the different gameplay and strategies and dive deep into it. And it's just been, for me, it adds to the whole experience.
For these two, doing this show is a part of their Survivor watching experience, and it's their joy with the show they hope to share with other fans across the listening world.
Make it very, very far.